What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Welcome back, everybody, to NECC. Today is week 7 of Rainbow6 Siege. Had a long break between the last game and this one, but now you've got a whole new set of games, whole new set of players, and a whole new set of casters. My name's Infernosis, joined here by my good friend Fellow. His name is also Fellow. He's also my fellow friend. But how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I'm honestly so excited to be casting with you. It's been a while, but it's a warm welcoming back now. It's going to be an exciting best of 3, and the 2 teams for this evening going to be Lakeland versus Central Methodist Division 1. So they're the better team, and they've won a fair amount of their games in the Champions Division, and we almost had everyone readied up. One player did end up leaving, so we're going to have to wait a little while longer, but it's worth such a long wait because these are going to be some exciting matchups. We're going to Coastline first and foremost, one of the most aggressive maps in the competitive pool, followed up by Clubhouse, everyone's good old-fashioned favorite map, and then a pretty good decider map as well. It's going to be Villa, so I think we're in for a wild ride here, Scott.
Yeah, 2 strange kind of map decisions, right? I mean, neither of us really see Coastline that often. It's just not a well-picked one. And then Villa's kind of a weaker link map as well. So interesting to see that one come through. Of course, a few things to note for this week is, of course, if I am correct here, Rooney and Tachanka are allowed in play. Flores is not, and while the map pool has changed for official competitive play, it won't change for us until next week. So next week, Chalet will be in play instead of Theme Park. So we'll have to, brush up on some, Chalet strategies. It is my favorite map. I just don't know the callouts all that well, but have to brush up on that one. I'm sure the players themselves as well will have to brush up on that one. And speaking of brushing up, I think Lakeland has some brushing off to do before getting into this match. They're 5 losses so far coming into this one, and they had a bye week in week 1. They need a win here, and they're going to try to find one off of Central Methodist, who is 4-2 coming to this point here in week 7. They've done a fairly good job here. Had a couple close games. Their Southern Methodist game was pretty close, just a 3-round differential across all 3 maps. So interesting to see them struggle all the way through. I mean, they even lost to UC San Diego, and they tied in round differential, and they lost 2-1. So it's interesting to see that, Central Methodist, who had the pleasure of casting in week 1, they've been able to hold their own so far in this division, in Champions Division. So it could be interesting what going forward. Have you casted for either of these teams here yet?
I believe I have for the second Central Methodist team. I don't recall the first one, though. I could be wrong, of course. I am wrong almost all the time. You're very well aware of that. But still, one of the 2 Central Methodist teams I have commentated for. And overall, I like the way they play. Central Methodist, too, they may not be one of the best teams, but they do have some really interesting strategies, so it is always nice to digest how they like to play. But we finally have the last player joining up, so we're not going to have to stall for that much longer. We're going to get into the matchup on Coastline in just a few seconds. And what do you think the bans are going to be like on such an assertive map like Coastline? I see your big brain over there in the background.
Big brain. And now there's a couple things you need to know. Every map at R6 is typically defender-sided. It's really just play strategically, reinforce walls, really hold out with a lot of anchor operators. Not the thing with Coastline. It's really frag-heavy. It's really just playing with fraggers and doing your best to frag out when the time comes. We're going to have to see if either side is capable of that, but I mean, your go-to bans you'll see Ash bans, you'll see Jackal bans, you'll see frag-centric operators get banned out because people don't want to face those. I mean, even Amaras will get banned because of their ability to get into the action quite swiftly, but first ban to come through will be a Blackbeard, and I think this one's pretty interesting because you can have them repel on the outside window of the east and the south towards the penthouse, and of course the one over inside of Billiards. So that may be the only reason that ban's coming through, CMU obviously not wanting to have to deal with that. And then the go-to ban of Thatcher, I think that one's kind of a waste for this map, considering you're not really bringing hard breach because there's not very many walls to worry about.
You could have went for something a little more simplistic, perhaps an Ace or a Habana to deny that quad wall being opened up from above near the skylight. There's also some other bans like a Jackal, for example, making it a little bit easier to go on this roam game. And another cool thing about Coastline, it's a super condensed map. It's only 2 floors, so the roam game is so prominent, but also so dicey. It can turn almost instantaneously on either side, and it could just be a devastating round depending on how well the roam clear comes out or how well it can be shut down by Central Methodist. But the final 2 bans, it's going to be a Pulse and a Mira. Not that uncommon. Typically, Valkyrie is picked over the Pulse, but still a phenomenal intel operator to have on your lineup. So I don't really blame Lakeland for removing him from the equation. And now we're going to get into the actual rounds of Coastline for number 1.
Honestly, I think the Pulse pick, Honestly, both mans. Mirror is more valuable in the double bar setup, you know, the sunrise and, of course, blue bar, the two downstairs first floor objectives. That's where they're most viable. Sorry, fella's drinking out of a milk gallon right now, so I got a little distracted. So that's where you're gonna see Mira's placed in that wall in between, besides the couch lounge section of the blue bar and sunrise. So it's interesting to see the Mira be banned out. So now we're definitely gonna see probably a Maestro in play there instead of a Mira. So you can hold with the Alda a little bit more securely and snugly to hold that corridor, the hallway as well. In terms of the Pulse, you're really only going to see that on the first floor, and mostly only in kitchen, because you can give control of hookah up. You can give control of that up for that double bar setup. It's not one to worry about. Where you want to worry about giving up though is penthouse and VIP lounge. If you give up those northeastern second floor rooms, then you kind of give it up most of the objectives, since everything there is just absolutely viewable. Every hidey hole you have is just completely snuffed out. There's not a chance for anyone to come inside, and it's not what you want to have to deal with. So seeing them opt to go up to this main objective on the second floor is none too shocking. But I'm curious where they're going to decide to go for their second objective.
I would agree, because either or, it's played a lot, especially in NECC, but let's just continue on with round number 1 first and foremost. The Montaigne and Ying pick coming out. We might see a lot of aggression early on, maybe go for an immediate post-plant situation for Lakeland. That could be huge if it's actually successful, but there are a lot of defending operators that can deny that. Warlord, for example, he has those toxic babes, and then there's also Lil, who has that nitro cell in his back pocket as well. That could be a whole lot of damage against Lakeland's attack. But as of right now, everything is still pretty calm, burning through some Aruni gates in the background as they begin to start droning out hookah and billiards. This could be a very quick and aggressive opening round as you see the second laser gate being opened up. Dolphin Man's getting ready. He's on a kicker at the moment. It's just only a matter of time before he starts running and gunning against the opponents on Central Methodist.
It's an interesting decision, actually, to take the hookah veranda, this hookah deck on the outside. You don't see very many teams opt to do that. I think one of the decisions why is because of these, you know, obviously the flashes that are coming out from your Ying and, of course, the shield of the Montaigne, but they're planting Diffuser. He's sticking it throughout. Not the smartest decision, and Warlord will secure the kill because of that onto Sasha. Not what you're wanting to look for in that situation, and now Lakeland is 2 players down, and another one of their players sitting on about 2 HP. Not looking very hot for them. CMU have definitely taken a pretty strong start, and they're continuing to do that going forward. The Aruni gate has been reset. That Syria gate is replaced. Now you've got a fight going on between Talon and the opposition. He'll be able to take it. Dolphin Man will find a kill into Whalo to refrag the one from previous, but quite honestly, this engager on here in Sunrise Bar is not looking very hot. Toy Cannon winning the engagement shockingly, as Toxicity did have a good position for it, but they've tied it back out, and Lakeland has brought it back to a 3v3.
Strong start for Central Methodist, but it will be evened out by the hands of Toy Cannon and Dolphin Man, equalizing the round out. Flossie, luckily though, will find a double kill for himself. That's going to injure out Dolphin Man, and another injure as well. Flossie with a quick 2K, and Lil Beatus ending off the round with a fantastic headshot on the player near big window inside of Hookah. That's going to be the first round win favoring Central Methodist, as they completely denied the smoke plant coming into play by the Montaigne and Ying combination. Fantastic denial.
You've got to clear that out. That shield that's sitting in main hallway, you have to completely rinse it. You got to use an Ash breaching round. You got to use something in your pocket to find success. You have Zofia impacts for a reason. Well, you opted for a Ying instead of an Ash, so you don't have those breaching rounds. You do still have people that can clear that. You can put an X-Kairos Paladin from Habana. Where are you using those anyways? You're not really hard breaching any surface. The main reason you're probably bringing that is its range destructive utility. Honestly, they need to clear that shield. They need to remove Whale Lord out with that toxic bay wielding smoke out of the main hall, and they need to get that shield completely out of the situation, and then Lakeland would have had a very nice chance of securing that round for themselves, because if they had just done that first, it would have been no chance for him to peek around the corner, because you would have had Ying, you would have had Dolphin Man ready to spray down with the LSW and deny any chance of a second toxic bay to be tossed, but instead you stick it, and now you're sticking to a loss in round 1. Now we're going to go down to the first floor, the kitchen sites. This is the one I was talking about previously. You need to take control of both the first and second floor, and we do have 3 nitro cells in pocket, only missing 1 because you had Pulse get banned out.
Some teams in NECC will prefer to go up above, or in competitive league in general for Rainbow Six, you'll go above when attacking kitchen and service, going for that vertical play to gather a huge bird's eye view against your opponents on the defensive side, find those opening frags, and that's where those nitro cells come into play in an attempt to deny that previously mentioned vertical play. And already Lakeland are setting themselves up to go above and then work their way lower, but starting off with that vertical play most likely. You also have players like Dolphin Man, for example, as well, holding down a tight angle, and it will pay off beautifully for him. He'll pick up the headshot onto Lil Beatus, and already a great recovery round so far for Lakeland as they take the first pick against the anchoring mute player.
Interesting decision from Lakeland not to bring a sledge. They don't really have a great ability to clear the floor. They're having to rely on the breaching charges on the ground, right? You're going to have to place those, and you're going to have to rely on those to clear the floor. You don't have a safety player. And with now 2 nitro cells in hand for the defensive side, that can really be a pain in the rear, quite literally, when those explode and cost you your life, much like we just saw the lives of a couple players get dropped. Warelord, SMG 11 to the head of Sasha. She will fall. And now a 3v4. Lakeland will secure one up into VIP. It'll be Toy Cannon onto Toxicity, but not to be outdown. Flossie and Fatboy will find 2 as well. Dolphin falls as Warelord finds an engagement now inside a main lobby between Fatboy will connect and down, but the last player standing will not let it go without a fight. That's Tumac who finds Fatboy, and it's now a 1v1. The player still down inside a main lobby. He'll secure the kill, and it's officially on the board and everything. A 1v1 for Lakeland to win this.
Now, Toy Cannon has so much time to work with. He could go for vertical play, but I think he'll just opt to confront the opposition forward-facing instead of from above with that top-down angle. He'll use his drone, smart play. Like I mentioned, so much time to work with, but Tumac really doesn't seem concerned. He's sitting quite comfortably in the middle of sight, just waiting for Toy Cannon to make a minor hiccup in his play, and he'll mark it off of that poor mistake. But at the moment, that won't be the case. Toy Cannon also has a lot of his primary utility to work with as well. All 18 of his Exyruses. If he detonates that wall right next to Tumac, this could be a huge sightline to gather up against him. He's getting ready to do just that, but instead it's on the back wall of Shelves, which is currently mute jam, but he'll opt to go for the second wall as well that I previously mentioned. This could still be a massive win for Lakeland, and if they get this win, that will even things up. Wide swing comes out, but Tumac on the corner will shut it down, and Central Methodist take the second round with flying colors in a narrowly missed 1v1 clutch, but it'll work out in the end. Now 2-0 in their favor.
Can you name a single gun you'd like to face less in a 1v1 than an MPX with a 1.5?
A gun that I would prefer worse than that?
That is one of the best guns you can have in a one-on-one. Can you name a gun worse than that? The face off against.
I mean, the K1A is really good to go up against, or did you say worse? I still. I mean,
what is more fearful? What brings more fear to your eyes when you're?
Yeah, the K1A for sure. The Alda, my God, that gun is devastating in any confrontation, let alone a 1v1 when he's focusing purely on you. But those are just a few to name off. I could ramble on and on and on about gun statistics, but that is not what you guys came here for. You guys came here to listen to Infernosis, so maybe I'll have him digest this round a little bit more, as we're actually heading to Penthouse in theater, just like he predicted not too long ago.
This is an awful objective. I'm going to be really honest with you here. This is the worst objective on the map. This is, as some people would call it, the tertiary of tertiary objectives. It is not the one you want to pick. It's not where you usually go. If you see it, you have to be very comfortable with it. That's the reason why I was calling it out. Collegiate level play, you're going to have people that want to do the same thing. They want to practice it, what they're comfortable with, and that's totally fine. They need to be able to do that, and they have to manage it in their own. And I think CMU is definitely a team that can do it, which is why I was saying this would be a great position for them, because it's not where you're pretty much used to. And when they banned out that Blackbeard, like we had talked about at the beginning, this is why. They wanted this objective first. They wanted this as their tertiary objective because they feel safe now to hold that outside window. They don't need to bring a castle as a sole player to do that. Now they've got Surya Gates as another way to deny it. It will open up sight lines, but it does still close off the ability to step inside, which is exactly what CMU wants. They want you to be slow. They want you to digest the situation and then play from there. And quite frankly, we'll have to see it'll pan out for him. Immediately a player down. Dolphin Man, who steps inside of Hookah, will now be felled. not out just yet, but if you lose that thermite pretty early on, which you just did from Flossie's Pokeball, it's going to be a little bit devastating. A second falls as Toxicity connects to Fat Boy Santi. And now you've got a bad situation. Toy Can on the outside of Hookah Deck is about to get dogged on, as well as Flossie's close in the situation to peek outside that window, and CMU is on a hunting spree. They are looking for every opportunity now.
2 massive frags with Central Methodist. They'll go for a third, but it's not going to work out. V-Pack is quicker on the draw. That will slowly begin to even things up, but still, Central Methodist has a huge lead against Lakeland right now. They A, have the man advantage, and B, they've removed so many operators that have great intel, and oh no, Flossie with a huge PK! Oh my god, Rook, how do you get away with that? And Central Methodist take the 3rd round in a row. My god, they are just unstoppable right now, Scott.
I mean, if you see a rook,
Flossie.
if you see a rook in play inside of a competitive environment, you know they're not picking it for the armor.
It's for the killed, man.
You're picking it for the weapon. You're picking it for the massive scope available on the defensive side. You're picking it for the weapon, and you're picking it for the pure utility that you can absolutely dog on the opposition with, and that's exactly what we just saw happening. Just sitting inside Billiards, able to pick up 3 kills, 0 contention, one of those with a Pokeball nonetheless. I choose you, and quite frankly, you're going to lose that Thermite of Dolphin Man every single time to that when you're down to not out yet. Phenomenal round to see from CMU. They have the advantage now, 3-0, 3-round up, and now they get the pick of the litter again. They're going to opt to go back to the Billiards and Hookah side, normalized objective, and if you take a look at the attacking lineup here from Lakeland, they're not picking up the Ying, they're not picking up the Monty, they've switched it up. They're going for a completely different strategy. They're not going to go for that unbridled aggression on that Hookah deck, or at least from the operator lineup, I don't think they are. I think they'll probably play a little bit more strategically, maybe spawn on the east side, come in swiftly from east to west and try to pincer in on the opposition from that north cool vibe staircase and, of course, that southern side hall. If they do that, they'll have some pretty good control, but if they want to take Hookah Deck, totally fine by me. Go ahead and do it, but clear that shield we see right there. We have to clear the shield if you want control.
Tumac, I heard the melee in the background. It looked to be a spawn peak, but I don't think he's going to find anything. That could have been very interesting, but oh no, just as I say it, the caster curse comes into effect. Tumac, he is not letting his foot off of that gas pedal. He starts out round number 4 just swinging against the ropes beside Lakeland. Oh my lord, that is such a huge opening frag for Central Methodist, and that's got to sting so much for Lakeland as they try to work their way in towards Hookah Balcony. And a beautiful shot by Warlord, or Whale Lord. Sorry, but it's only going to connect a singular bullet onto Dolphin Man. But still, Central Methodist, again, proving that they're just starting out strong and ending off even stronger. It's just, I don't know what to say, Scott. They are just outperforming so much right now.
Oh, Tumong not to be outdone again. Didn't like the fact that Flossie found 3 in the round previously. Will continue to try and do that now. And already with 2 to his name, taking command of the situation with the commando in hand. Phenomenal showmanship so far. Still one player trying to come up that Hookah deck on that stairwell. I am questioning the decision from Lakeland to take that Hookah still. They don't need to take Hookah. They need to push in elsewhere. Honestly, they could even push in from the inside of the skylight and have a better job to go through. But no, Tumok finally finishing off the triple kill, securing the kill onto Dolphin Man. And you're now got a 2v5, and it's just the 2 players of Epoch. And of course, Toy Cannon as the last 2 standing for the Lakeland side. And just from the looks of it, CMU's hunting again. Tumok, 5 kills to their name. Needs to get 3 more to catch up to Flossie. And right now, with a gun as domineering or as commanding as the Commando, I definitely think they have a chance. Oh no, V-Bach into the backside of the head. And Flossie will make the lead even farther, finding V-Bach. CMU with another round win. Lakeland needs to find an answer.
I don't think a team kill is part of the answer for that. Oh man. Don't worry, not ahead anymore. I fixed my minor delay. I just could see it coming a mile away. Oh, that's not what you want to have happen. Central Methodist just making this the most defender-sided coastline I've seen in such a long time. It's unbelievable right now how well Central Methodist is playing. It's
attacker-sided.
This is, yeah, we were mentioning this earlier. That coastline is such a wild card map because of how attacker favored it normally is. This is the exact opposite of what we were mentioning. This is completely unprecedented, Scott, because not a single round has been won so far on the attacking side. Lakeland just seems all out of luck and almost all out of hope in almost all perspectives right now.
I mean, fellow, how many terrorist hunts do you think they put Flossie through before this game started? How many terrorist hunt matches did they go through to warm up this exceptionally well? And how trusting is CMU to say, okay, Flossie, you got this. Take it. It's yours. Play Rook. Swing. I don't care. We don't care at all. It's not going to be anywhere close. The only close run we've seen was on this objective here. And it was that 1v1 at the end between the Warden and, of course, the opposition, which was the Habana of Toy Cannon. It went in favor of the MPX. It went in favor of that side, and now we don't see the MPX in hand. Valkyrie's not in play, and obviously we also don't have the Warden in play, so we're not going to see that weapon. But we are still going to see CMU hunting. There's a term used for things like that. You got your hunting dogs and your hounds. CMU is definitely hounding out the opposition, sniffing every single location they're coming from, spawn peeking, going for the aggressive stances. CMU are domineering right now, and Lakeland desperately need to find an answer for it.
To answer your question, Scott, probably 2 T-hunts. He just seems like a natural-born killer. I really don't think he hit the ropes or the trenches of Terrorist Hunt probably that much, to be honest with you. The man's going 9-1 on the Rook. I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with, that is for sure, but CMU, they'll get spotted out a little bit by Lakeland, playing outside of that pool window or the kitchen window, whatever you prefer to call it. And finally, we'll see some success on the side of Lakeland as they find the opening pick onto I'm Toxicity. Beautiful shot by Toy Cannon. And luckily, he won't get his head ripped clean off by his own teammate on this occasion. So far, Lakeland is looking to have a great start. But oh no, Tumac runs right out of kitchen window and shuts me up quicker than he shuts down Dolphin Man with the 417. And there goes your equalizer pick favoring CMU. But a refrag eventually comes out on the side of Lakeland, bringing their man advantage back by a singular kill.
So close. CMU, I don't think they're too fearful here, especially with how Flossie's playing right now, coming up, bruising his way over through billiards. A big chunky lad like Rook, you know, very loud and not very quick, and yet still playing their own game. Absolutely full trust coming from that, and quite frankly, Lakeland doesn't have an answer for this. They're not watching the back very much. They don't actually have a full roam denial on their side. There is no Nomad, there is no Gridlock, and they're going to have a lot of trust coming into this one. Player gets caught out, will be downed, will be secured as well in a 3v3 in place. And now the player that was just in there, who's now in Penthouse, is going to have to make the rotation over. That's VPOC, who's aware the player has just been there, but the question comes in this engagement. They're going to be a firefight not ensuing, as VPOC will actually rotate away. And interesting decision. There's not much time left, 38 seconds on the clock, and Lakeland are down another player as Flossie will secure the double.
Flossie always one step ahead of his opponents right now. He's looking for a third on the round. He's peeking around this corner. It'll work out for him almost completely, but it will be a trade as Sasha will also hit their own shots against the roaming Rook player. And now it's a 1v2 all up to VPOC, and he'll get annihilated by Whale Lord, roaming with the smoke near jungle. What a better position by the smoke player, and that's going to be another round win favoring Central Methodist as we go 5-0 heading into round number 6. Scott, do you think we'll see match point so quickly into this first matchup on Coastline?
Penthouse and Theater. Those are the two things to look at right now. Penthouse and Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we see last time we saw this objective? We saw Lakeland get nowhere close at all whatsoever. Couldn't even make it past the hookah deck.
Inside. Yeah,
they had two players step indoors, and one of them got pokeballed, if I remember correctly. They were allowed in, and then immediately BM'd upon entering.
Mm-hmm.
Lakeland don't have an answer for this right now. This is not their map. It just isn't working out for them, and you know that's kind of sad to see because Lakeland picked Coastline. This was their map choice. Central Methodist, I don't think very many teams actively practice this map. Central Methodist says, we don't care. We know what we have to do here. It's called point and click, and it's exactly what's happening, and I don't think I've seen a team do it as exceptionally well in about a week, and I've casted for quite a few R6 games since then. I mean, we saw Phoenix, the player of the week from last week, single-handedly carried on Clubhouse. I mean, literally got 4K after 4K, and even that wasn't as dirty as this one is, considering that this map is so exponentially attacker-sided.
Agreed. We've mentioned this so many times over, but it's so weird to see 5-0 CMU and they're defending first on Coastline. If you were talking to me over comms or something, you know, Discord perhaps, and you were saying this, I'm like, oh, CMU is just on a heater on the attacking side. Oh, no. They're defending every objective room flawlessly other than blue and pink bar, but that's because they haven't gone there yet. They're opting to go into Penthouse and Theater, and Flossie, adding more to his KDR, will shut down Toy Cannon almost immediately. There goes your only chance of hard destruction in the map, but thankfully, Dolphin Man, he won't be on the receiving end of that MP5. He'll get the refrag on a Flossie almost immediately, and now there's a little bit of a chance that Lakeland can obtain their first round win if they keep these trades coming into effect as successfully as we just saw.
The FMG9's not that spectacular of a weapon. It's still to win that engagement.
Oh, no.
Tumac, you should have won that engagement, but phenomenal job there by Lakeland to take that kill. Now you've lost your two top fraggers for the CMU side, and you're going to have to fall back on Whalelord and Little Beatus, who's not been the show-out player, but is not actually had players come to him. They've all died before they even make it anywhere close to the anchoring player, and Warlord, who got tired of anchoring the round previously like we watched and instead went to the Skylight Jungle and fought there and got the last kill. We know that they can play this. We know that they can anchor because they're comfortable enough anchoring. They'll step off of anchoring. So it's an interesting decision. You are a player down. They do have a little bit of information. That bathroom hatch does look like they're going to want to step towards. But Little Beatus inside of Theater is looking for an opportunity as well. These walls that have not been reinforced are going to be a sightline not just for CMU to take some pretty big crossfires, but also for Lakeland to fall and succumb to and be able to fire through as well, because as we know, attacking-sided weapons have longer range and more damage statistically speaking.
This is a double-edged sword, Scott, with those opened up sight lines, because either player can just wide swing around and find an opening kill. Doesn't matter either side, but Dolphin Man finding a second for themselves onto the round. He eliminates I'm Toxicity from the equation. Now with 2-on-4, it's not all over for Central Methodist, but Lakeland's presence is so strong on the 6th round. They might have what it takes to end the flawless winning streak for the defensive squad. Soft destruction coming out. That'll break the barbed wire, make it a little bit easier for Lakeland to walk into sight. There's only one player denying this push, and that's currently Lil Beatus behind the bomb chassis. Dolphin Man getting lit from behind, most likely by a Whale Lord. And in the background, you can hear those candelas. Lil Beatus, beautiful angle, shuts down Pack. The plant coming down, though, on the opposite site. But there's no coverage. A huge pick for Lil Beatus, but he has no clue about the plant. It'll be a 2-on-2, but the post plant is now in effect. This could still be a massive win for Lakeland. They just have to stall for about 30 more seconds.
Time is now on the side of CMU. They have control of the objective. Little Beatus on it, and now Dolphin Man downed. Nothing they can do about it. Lakeland will, in fact, be 6-0'd on their attacking half. Whalelord putting a smile on the wall, apparently finishing it up with the 2 eyes at the last second there. But on top of that, I want to point out, pulling out the Super Shorty. Trying to get it done with the Super Shorty rushing down that main hall. Interesting decision, and quite a spectacular one to see him attempt to do it. The Nook, I think, was the right play despite it eventually falling. It really came down to the fact that Lakeland finally made it inside, finally put up a battle, but could not clear the secondary sites, and you also didn't look to the room you hadn't cleared yet. Why did we see VPOC take a look over into the opposing side? Why did we see them walk over and try to go back in the bathroom? Why do we see them make that rotation around when you haven't cleared Theater, and you know for a fact a player's sitting in there because you just lost a teammate outside Theater door not 10 seconds prior? Interesting decisions, maybe a lack of team coordination, maybe comms being a little bit too loud, but you have to be able to relay that information coherently enough that both sides or everyone on your team can act off of it, and we are going to have a bit of a pause, possibly even a rehost because the player is gone, and it is the time period here. This is the prep phase, so a rehost is totally applicable. It's just whether or not Lakeland actually wants it.
I don't blame them if they want to, but they got to make up their mind fast. They only have 20 seconds, so it's, oh, we can play it, no biggie. All right.
They're
Well, at
trying.
least they were decisive about it. I'll give them props for that. They were very quick on their decision. So kudos to them. They don't want to have us waiting any longer. They want to get some round wins on their side without their fifth player and then bring it back. Obviously, they're going to get a huge comeback. Just wait and see, Chad. I swear, I'm a master predictor. I swears it. But the final site that could be possibly played if this is a 7-0 is going to be Hookah Billiards. This time, though, Lakeland will be on the defense. And besides the fact that they don't have a fifth player, their lineup is actually quite strong. But the only problem is that there's no Jaeger or Romai on the board. There's nothing to deny these Capitao asphyxiating bolts, any of these smoke grenades. A plant could come down quite easily. But on top of that, like I said earlier, the man advantage is already in the favor of CMU, and they have not to break a single sweat to earn it.
Yeah, devastating to behold, and quite frankly, you don't have a smoke on your side of Lakeland. You don't have a great way to deny any entry into there, and it's not looking hot, but I'll tell you what is looking hot, the floor of Hookah Lounge right now. You're going to have Toxicity, who quickly and swiftly drops inside.
That's an arm. That's an
Player
arm.
right there does see the rear end of Santi, who will fall, and now it's a 3v5, a two-man advantage, and you've got control of Hookah. Diffuser can be placed down. You can drop down your lunchbox and really play from there. No toxic babes to deny, and Whalelord will start the plant. Toxicity on another spree, finding their second to Sasha, but Toy Cannon not letting it go out without a fight, finding the refrag, and a 2v4 player below sitting out inside a Sunrise Bar looking for an opportunity, but it's not gonna matter. Flossie finds the kill, and a 1v4 as Toy Cannon will fall to Tumac, who's sitting inside Hookah. CMU 7-0 victory on map 1.
Well, that was quick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. It was a great half indeed, Leader Central Methodist, but I like the, what's the word for it? I can't think of it, it's on the tip of my tongue, but the amount of respect and nobility that the attacking side had, that Lakeland had, my apologies for forgetting your name for just a quick second, just taking the L quite nicely. They'll bring it back hopefully for the next round. Clubhouse is such a different map compared to Coastline, so you know what? I think there's still a fighting chance for Lakeland, but we are going to have to wait at least a little while. We'll go into a short break, and then we will all return for map number 2, where we will have that proven to us, or the exact opposite might happen. Who really knows? We'll have to wait and find out, but any other words you want to say before we head out, Scott?
No, you've pretty summed it up pretty quickly. GG's all across, and hopefully Clubhouse is the deciding one for Lakeland.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Welcome back, everybody, to the NECC. We've got another spectacular map coming straight at you. My name's Infernosis, joined here by my good friend Fellow. How you doing today, Fellow? Great map one.
Very clear as to who was the winner in that situation. 7-0 for Central Methodist. They really they outplayed Lakeland in every situation. They were fragging quite heavily, especially Flossie. He had well over double digits, and let's see if they can have that same success on Clubhouse. A very different map, but they're going to be on the lesser part of here, as they now are on attack compared to defense, which on Clubhouse you probably wouldn't want to be starting off on because it's much more defensive favorited. But regardless, what do you think the bans are going to be like so far?
Pretty standard. Hibana, Thatcher, Mira, Kaid, maybe. I mean, it's not going to be too different. You're going to want one hard breacher gone, right? It's more than likely going to be Hibana. You can do Thermite, you can do Ace, you can do Maverick, but it's going to be a hard breacher. If it's not, I'd be shocked seeing you just kind of throwing something in there, just kind of messing around. Last time I had the pleasure of casting this map was for the University of Buffalo Esports' game against, I can't remember, it was a 7-0 victory, and they took it. It was the match that really guaranteed me the decision to give Phoenix the player of the week, because they dropped, I think, 3 or 4 4Ks alone on the defensive half to guarantee the 7-0. Caster's Curse, I mean, they really don't like Blackbeard.
Apparently, even though, fun fact, he was nerfed this upcoming season, his shield now only 20 HP compared to the 50 or 55 that it was about a month or so ago. But 1 second, had a cough there a little bit. My apologies. But Kaid, that will be banned, which is relatively common. You see it most of the time, especially when Maverick is on the board, because it's so difficult for him to look for those Electro Claws. And most of the time, you can position them in spots where Maverick can't even get the wall opened up. So it does make some sense. And another great intel operator down for the count. That's going to be Valkyrie on this occasion, instead of the Pulse that we saw last game. But other than the Blackbeard ban, this doesn't look all that uncommon for a Clubhouse matchup.
Yeah, I think Mira's pretty hit or miss now. For Clubhouse, at least. For Clubhouse. Is really Mira's only super useful on the basement. Not very much viability elsewhere. So, not too shocking to see Mira not be banned out. A lot of teams will just refuse to play against her for that same reason, because she's just so annoying on the hardest objective to take. But no, we're going to see it have to go through, and I'm already liking what I'm seeing here, because when we're going to the basement, the number one thing you have to think about is that hatch and kitchen, and that outside tunnel hatch, the wall, the reinforced wall that's inside dirt. We're probably going to see Ace relegated to clear out the initial wall of the tunnel, and then we're going to see Maverick probably clear out the kitchen hatch, as well as maybe clearing someone else. You may see Ace rotate back through and clear out the kitchen. To help clear out kitchen hatch, you may see them rotate over to bar hatch. You could see some variability for that above Memorial. Overall, though, CMU have a very solid lineup for this, and because we did see the ban phase come through like that, we don't have Kaid here, which means you don't have to worry about a hard breach denial for those hatches, which just makes your hard breach lineup that CMU brought out even more strong.
Because of that, Maverick or Ace can comfortably get that hatch opened up, or the Moto one as well, or both, whatever you decide. I'm not your father, CMU. You do whatever you ever so please to you beautiful people. But like I said, it's gonna make the jobs of the hard destructors so much more straightforward that it shouldn't be a problem with them to gain a lot of map control early on. They could even go in through the back church wall and go for a possible defuse if they have enough hard destruction left after already getting that kitchen hatch and moto hatch opened up. And speaking of destruction, Tumac will follow up as well with a soft breaching round from his primary gadget, and that's going to allow a couple of early on sightlines in towards the blue part of the map, but no one on the side of Lakeland's actually defending that. This could be a free take on the side of on the side of CMU if they play their cards right.
Interesting decision to take control of Garage. It's really, you're only going to see them try to drop inside a sewer as that initial kind of cursory position, but interesting decision for them to go for it. Word will already find a kill onto Toxicity, and now Tumac is trying their hardest to try and secure a refrag when applicable, but phenomenal job by Word to not get greedy, not go for another, to play safe, to lie back in the problem, and it's going to be interesting and hard for them to go forward with it. They really want to clear this out. You can see the two players still going for this exit frag, and they finally will secure it. But take a look, fellow, at the clock right here. 1 minute and 20 seconds has been bought off of one player, and they got a frag before getting taken out. That's phenomenal timing. Good job by Lakeland to buy that time for themselves.
That was such a great stall, and now Central Methodist does not have a lot of time to work with. Frag grenade will be tossed out. That's a mighty blow against Toy Cannon, now brought down to about half health, and those Selmas being activated on the back blue wall. Toy Cannon is in a really tough predicament, and Whale Lord will mark it off of that. Now going for the defuse in the middle of sight. No one's denying it at the moment. C4 comes out by Dolphinman. It will completely miss, however, and now Central Methodist have the advantage, even though Dolphin Man has found an opening frag. Flossie, though, will shut it down almost immediately. A clap back, if you would wish to, and now we're in a 2, make it 1v3, as Flossie finds a double kill for himself on the Maverick pick. It's all up to Sasha by themselves, stuck in the middle of church, and they only have about 20 more seconds to work with, give or take. It's a 7-second defuse around the corner. Whips that Alda will finish off one, but Little Beatus immediately refrags, and Central Methodist somehow, some way, will recover from such a huge loss on that beginning game of round number 1.
If I see 3 rounds back-to-back go in favor of CMU, that's going to be the big pivotal moment for me to go, hey, CMU's on their own level right now. They're feeling it. Not only do they pick the least favorite side on both maps, they're playing the least favorite sides on both maps, but they're exceptionally showing off on those sides despite it being least favored. And that's something that is going to be a big problem for them. 2 rounds now across the entire both maps. 2 attacking rounds for CMU. They've won both. They win 3 more. That really just guarantees to me CMU has it. I think that Lakeland will have to find an answer for it on their defensive side. If they can't find an answer for CMU, they're going to struggle even more when they get to their attacking side. And Lakeland struggled a lot on their attacking side previously. It is a completely different game between Clubhouse and Coastline. One of them is just running around and really playing like it's a casual match, just swinging every angle and, holding left click and W. This one's different. You have to have some strategy. You have to have some coherency coming throughout it. And when we talk about strategy for this objective here, Eastern Subroof is the big one to name. The subroofs that come on the east and, of course, on the west, which is actually labeled the Southern Subroof, you have to maintain full control of that. And the best way to do that is to Maverick trick the eastern one and take control of the southern to get a sightline into the westernmost half of CCTV, and, of course, to breach inside of construction and have a good crossfire into both rooms and be able to step inside to get a quick and easy plant off of this eastern suburb, which is where Flossie's heading to right now.
If both the Platinum Wall, which Flossy is walking over to right now, and the construction wall in towards Cash gets opened up, it will be so difficult for Lakeland to actually defend this second floor objective room. Also, might I add, you can also attack from rafters, clear out that one player, and that could also be a gigantic pick for yourselves. But oh my god, Tumac is on a tear for round number 2 as he picks up a double kill to start things off strong, almost sealing the deal for Central Methodist. Sasha, though, will get the refrag on to the aggressive Ash player. A wallbang almost comes out by the Maverick player of Flossie onto Word inside of rafters, but only going to find one singular shot. It's still a 4-on-3 favoring Central Methodist, but they have not gained any actual map control just yet because they're still lurking outside near that Platinum Wall and right outside of Garage Doorway.
What a play by Tumac to actually just rush in red stairs and take full control. Now you're in a bad situation if you're Lakeland. Not only are you a player down, but 2 of your players are now trapped completely inside of Garage, and you castle barricaded yourself in. You've got no way out. You're quite physically trapped. If you tear that down, it's a massive audio cue for Toxicity to turn around and find yet another kill after they have just secured the kill into Sasha. And now it's your 2 players who've been trapped in Garage. 1 player will be down. Flossie will be down off the shots from Word to connect, and now they're trying to secure another. Little Beat is finding it instead. Will get the shot through the wall. Toy Cannon falling, and a 1v4 is in play. Flossie more than likely will not be down and will be finished off by Word, but this castle barricade, Word's going to sit inside pocket. Not too sure what they're able to do here. Whale Lord could listen to the audio cue, does hear it now, and turns to find the kill. AK-12 in hand will find the headshot, and Word will be relegated to yet another death in another round.
Another phenomenal attacking round for Central Methodist. They are just They're just winning all the time right now. They are just on a 9-round winning streak currently, if you add up Coastline as well. Even on the attacking side of Clubhouse, this is also unheard of. They're getting so much player advantages so quickly, and then they just convert it into map control. They went for a default or somewhat default plant. They planted inside of CCTV room, and in a 2-on-4, there wasn't much that Lakeland could really do. They were just trapped in the middle of Garage and Raptors area. I mean, they basically just sunk their own ship, and now they're down in a 2-round deficit when they're on the better side of Clubhouse right now. They'll return to Church and Arsenal, but they have so many mistakes to refine and revise over. I don't know if they're going to be able to redeem themselves from such a huge deficit, Scott.
They're definitely going to try. We do see the Rook being brought out here. Maybe this is the answer they need. I mean, it worked for CMU. Of course, that was in the hands of
True.
Flossie. So it could be the difference. You know, Flossie, who's apparently got good dental care enough to name themselves out for it. Or of course, Dolphin Man. Which one is going to be better in the process? And honestly, I think Lakeland, like you said, they have a lot they need to change, a lot to answer for. And I'm not sure they necessarily have it up into their arsenal. I don't think they're capable of denying it just yet. It was semi-close when it came to here. They need to keep their players engaged in a way that's safe, and I think the castle barricade could be a way to do that, but they have to be placed well enough to actually secure and have something going for them.
What I want to know is how well exactly Word can be on this roam. Flossie gonna get into an early gun engagement. Shots will be traded amongst one another, and somehow Flossie loses it, but a trade immediately pursues as 2Mac just wide swings around the corner and shuts down Dolphin Man. Now he has full control of the main stairwell. He just has to find those shots in the player near Moto drop, and that could allow him to just walk his way right into sight. Another frag comes out favoring Lakeland this time against I'm Toxicity. That will bring the man advantage back in the favor of Lakeland. But Scott, we've seen this or almost exact same situation happen once before. This is still a very winnable round for Central Methodist. Lakeland cannot get too over the top just yet, because there's still 2 minutes where anything can really happen here, and I predicted it right on the mark as Whale Lord equalizes out, finishing off Word on the retreat back to site.
That is not what I want to point out, though, because it did happen at the very beginning, that Dolphin Man v Flossie battle won by Dolphin Man, so they did find a little bit of an answer to Flossie, and it happened to come from the Rook, who was imitating Flossie. So interesting decision. That battle does go in favor of Lakeland, but so far, it's tied right back up. CMU on that refrag. They do also get the refrag to Word, who had just taken out the player of I'm Toxicity as well, and a 3v3 is officially engaged. Seems to be a push coming centrally from the utility room to this generator side, and they want to secure something in this direction, but the players situated now inside Memo is going to be pushed now by 2Mac, who needs to find and secure this kill if they want safety. You talked about it earlier. The Alda is the gun you do not want to face off against. A knife peek that could potentially come through. 2Mac could place the Claymore down and just shut off the angle, but it'll be Sasha who gets shot from the backside of that blue room, will fall, and 2Mac will guarantee the kill. Great crossfire set up by CMU, and a 2v2 now underway. Toy Cannon finding Whale Lord, and the rush by 2Mac knows somewhat of the position, but will fall. Toy Cannon with a double kill, and now a 2v1. Little Beatus will try the knife, but fails it in the end, and Fat Boy Santi will find the kill. Lakeland find their first round here on map 2, round 3.
They finally broke the cycle. They were holding on for dear life, but they were able to survive the onslaught by CMU. They'll take their first round win. I wouldn't say with flying colors, but they did a great job nonetheless, holding down the fort quite effectively against the push coming out. And now they've won their first site. They're going to now head up above the second best objective room, CCTV and Cash. A very decent lineup as well. Not a big fan of the Alibi, but it's not that big of a deal. They still have a ton of operators that they can have on the board to slow down this push. The Legion pick off of Maestro, don't know how I feel about that, but Legion put in the right hands can still be an amazing operator at hand.
Interesting decision, and like you said, finally Lakeland coming into their own, and they're picking a little bit more of a centralized lineup now. The CCTV room hold they did last time didn't work out. We've already commented about that, and of course the Alibi decision. I think Dolphin Man is just trying to find something that works. They've switched off of multiple operators now. Went from the Rook before and switching now over to the Alibi, just trying to find something, and The MX4 Storm's a phenomenal weapon, but you've got to be able to hit the shots, which is something we've seen both sides almost struggle with. We did see that nice engagement between, I believe it was Whale Lord and, of course, Word in the last round, which Word just had the angle and knew the player was going to be coming from blue, from Secret, but did not look as they were a little bit too close for their wary. It does go in the favor of CMU because of it, but the round ultimately goes in favor of Lakeland. We need to see them do that once again. We are seeing that push. 2 players spawning over towards the eastern subroof. You do have 3 players spawning on the south, looking to go towards the southern subroof and breach inside garage. And like you said, close situations. The castle barricade just narrowly gets put down before a shot from Flossie will put down the player of Toy Cannon instead.
Oh, Flossie's getting ready for a nasty angle in through the garage wall. He's so patient because he wants this to work out. If they already find this opening frag, this could be huge, and beautiful crosshair placement and recoil control by Flossie. There goes Sasha, and all of your active utility on the Legion that I was mentioning a moment ago is now just a thought bubble in the back of Lakeland's heads, as they're already down the man advantage and are expecting just a bulldoze coming in from CMU and towards garage. The active pings come out by the alibi tracker. It's just a wide swing on the Word. Tumac just completely catches him off guard, and now we're in a 5-on-3 favoring Central Methodist as they begin to just blitz their way into sight, and there isn't really much that Lakeland can do right now. They're already down 2 separate players, soon to be a third as Fat Boy gets eliminated by Tumac, a double kill for the Ash player. This could already be a comeback round win for the attacking squad.
Absolutely devastating. CMU on a rampage here. Disgusting to behold. They're continuing the engagement, though. Last 2 players is Dolphin Man and Toy Cannon trying their hardest. Dolphin Man finds one, but Toy Cannon will fall to Tumac, and a 1v4 as Tumac guarantees the triple. Last man on red. It is that alibi we talked about previously. Finds the kill to Flossie, deny his chance of a double, and a 1v3. Heading back now, the diffuser was brought by Flossie for some reason, but Dolphin Man does get rushed out. Will take a lot of damage here, drop down to about 24 HP, but Toxicity has secured the bag and has started to plant the lunchbox down inside of, I believe, probably CCTV. Guaranteeing that position now. They're going to have to play the replant, post-plant scenario now as it's up to Dolphin Man in a 1v3, and he's barricaded off quite handily. We'll have to give away a massive audio cue to go for it, and there's Tumac to guarantee yet another kill for himself, and I actually believe that was a 3K for him or a 4K for him in that round.
One of the two. I'm kind of teetering between either or, to be honest, as well. I couldn't quite catch it, but still, great round for Tumac. He's been filling in Flossie's shoes as we saw him dominate the opponents of Lakeland on Coastline, but now it's been given now to the role of Tumac, and he's been doing a great job on the entry, finding not just entry frags, but just frags throughout the entire round, proving to be a phenomenal player on the side of Central Methodist, and that's only allowed Lakeland to gather 1 round out of the 4, now going into the 5th one, as we'll see a return to CCTV and Cash Room. Even though I don't like to be a Debbie Downer, Scott, I don't know how much hope I can keep bleeding into the bodies of Lakeland right now, because they are down so bad against Central Methodist, even on Clubhouse.
Down bad?
Yes.
They're down bad?
Yes, they are down bad. They're down bad.
They're all of R6 Twitter in a nutshell. They're down bad. It's not looking hot for them
Honestly,
at this moment.
True. And same, yeah. I feel that.
Well, Fellow, if anyone knows anything about being down bad, apparently it's Fellow, as he's the one saying it right now. But, I mean, who doesn't know that feeling? And Lakeland's definitely feeling that feeling right now, and a lot of their supporters are as well. But that's not necessarily the end goal here. Lakeland hasn't won any games so far this season. They're probably a fresher team with a fresher roster trying to find what works out for them. And I'm hoping that they do find what works out for them. They may get dropped to a lower division in the next season when they come back, and I hope they do come back. And maybe they'll have a lot more success in there. That's why we have division-based systems, so you want queued or matches people that are way beyond your skill level. We have a place for everybody. And speaking of places, this southern subroof is going to be cleared and swiftly taken over. Breaching round comes through to clear out the castle barricade. A very nice fire charge thrown by the Capitao Flossie to clear out a little bit of the information. And that red hallway push will be pushed away some more. Tumac finding the kill inside of construction to Toy Cannon. And a 4v5 now. CMU once again a player advantage on the CCTV room and cash room objective.
Tumac again on the entry. He'll find one. Whale Lord following suit. A 5-on-3 yet again. It's a sense of deja vu. Even more so now as Flossie picks up one for his own. Now in a 5-on-2. World almost gets a refrag, but Lil Beatus claps back almost instantaneously. Oh my god, what a shot by him. And now it's an OV4 as Flossie cuts me off mid-sentence and Central Methodist just walk into sight and win almost all of their gunfights. One player away from a flawless round, and now it's 4-1 favoring them even on the attacking side.
Well, you said it best. I mean, you said it's looking like last round, looking like a repeat, and that's exactly what we saw. Once again, Dolphin Man, last man standing. Literally, this time instead opting for the Jaeger instead of the Alibi. It didn't actually work out as well as it did previously. They only got that one frag, the consolation pick, I would say, in that situation, and now they're going to have to try again. They've gotten one round for themselves, so this will not be a complete shutout in either side, but they need to find one more before the half switch. I think that's going to be the easiest one for them. Attacking on Clubhouse is not easy. It's a very difficult map to get a full strategy for. If the defense is competent and has a great way to deny and knows perfection of strategies, then it's even more difficult. And I think CMU is a team that has a very coherent strategy for defense. We saw them do it on round 1 and round 2 of Coastline the map before, and then they stopped because they just said we can just kill them, and that's exactly what they did. But we know that they have strategies. We know that they have the laid out forethought of those strategies, and Lakeland is going to struggle against that. I would be shocked if Lakeland make a close round attempt on their attacking side. They need to win out another round here so it's not a complete devastating loss.
And I don't know personally if they can do it other than Bar and Stock, which we don't talk about here or anywhere on R6. Don't mention that site's name anymore. Don't. Do not. No, don't listen to Scott. He has malicious intentions. Don't do Chad. Do not do it. I swear. Infernosis Sims cannot stand against the fellow enjoyers. Please don't do this to me, Scott. You are my bestest friend in here currently. But other than Bar and Stock, I would not say that Gym Bedroom is a very good site. It's probably one of the worst sites to go in towards. But luckily, Lakeland just keeps rolling with the punches. They will actually find the opening pick onto such a prominent player of Tumac, and I'm Toxicity almost gets annihilated as well. He's one shot away from meeting his maker, but he will get a second chance at life. And let's hope that he can still remain in the fight for a little while longer to help get this hard destruction into effect, because right now, Central Methodist only has a tiny vault hole in. That could be a free kill for anyone on the side of Lakeland, if not for the fact that Flossie is just in the middle of sight almost. He's 1 foot away from walking right on in. It'll work out perfectly for him. And there's not really that much of a rotation hole, except for all the way on the worst part of the wall. A plant could come down if I'm Toxicity manages to rotate around.
Sasha will pick up a consolation kill into Flossie, guaranteeing a little bit more of extra precaution, but still a 3v3. Lakeland desperately needing this round before the halftime switch. And you have to worry, one player sitting on that main staircase, one, I believe, inside of that cash room sign near construction, and Word will find a kill onto Little Beatus. Now it's 2 players for CMU, both have pushed in from Jacuzzi, but they have control of Gym. Lunchbox planted now inside of the northeastern corner of Gym. Will have a little bit of a safety net, and the nade in hand of Werelord could catch the player on staircase off guard, but an ADS will snatch it midair, guaranteeing nothing from their side. And a player now down. Toxicity shot through the wall. Wasn't looking hot already, but a spray down will find one. Werelord secures the kill to Toy Cannon. It's a 2v2, but really and truly, it's just a 2v1. Sasha and Word, the last two standing for Lakeland, desperately needing a kill in this situation. Looking for the opportunity. Werelord still sitting inside this hallway for Bedroom, looking for a kill, and he'll toss a nade as precautionary measure. Player inside a launch, he's stepping out now, seconds away from meeting up and meeting their maker. Werelord looking for it. They need to step onto the diffuser. They don't have time. There's no time. And Lakeland will not get it done despite finding every player for CMU. Nothing happening for them. CMU win and go 5-1 at halftime.
Oh, that was so close, Scott, but there was just enough time to stall out for a moment longer. Oh man, that could have been Lakeland's round for the winning, but they just barely lose it. It just slips out of their fingertips, and now Central Methodist up by 4 rounds. We're 1 round away from match point possibly, and another following up after that one to take away the entire best of 3, almost 14-0 from 2 separate 7-0s, but at least Lakeland has been able to put a small stop to that complete and utter just devastation on the side of Central Methodist. But now with CMU on the defensive side, they could wrap up this second map quicker than I can say my ABCs. And fun fact, I don't know how to do that actually.
A fun fact, fellow is actually illiterate.
I don't know how to read, actually. I've been trying to learn for so long, and huh? Apparently,
What?
I don't know how to run YouTube either. What?
Did you accidentally close the live feed?
I think I just hacked the system. Oh wait, no, are you still live?
I'm still in. I'm still going.
Discord, it's okay. Apparently my YouTube feed just died, but that's okay. You know what? I think YouTube just was like, oh, you don't know how to read? Get off of my website.
Get out of here. Out of here. Can't type in youtube.com. Get out of here. Not a thing. But no, nonetheless, I think that despite Fellow's complete inability to read any words beyond 3-letter words, he does a fairly good job of reading the kill feed. And yeah, Pong's one of the words he does. Now, I taught him that one personally, though. I think he's done a fairly good job of reading the kill feed and reading the round score as well. Numbers are not an issue for him, shockingly enough. He can't count past 10, but R6 doesn't get past 10, so it's not really an issue. 5-1 is the scoreline, and CMU have found an answer to everything Lakeland has come up with, and now Lakeland starting off strong on the attack. Toxicity, who was being a little bit toxic as well, I think they were looking for a run out or something of the sort, will fall, and a nice picked up kill secured for Lakeland, and their player ahead on a pretty aggressive stance for this CCTV room and cash room objective.
Already inside the building, we could have IQ Word in particular go underneath and break some bandit charges from underneath. We're seeing him attempt that. That can allow for the main wall to be opened up. To be honest, even though I have been bad-mouthing Lakeland just a small bit, they're doing a fantastic job on their first attacking round, getting that plat wall opened up almost immediately, and almost a free kill as well for Word. He'll only deal a slight bit of damage onto Lil Beatus, but still, the fact of the matter is that main wall will get opened up in just a matter of seconds, and Lakeland is still in a great position to win this. They just have to clear out Lil Beatus in from rafters and then go for that default plant, which we have mentioned time and time again.
Hard to take, however, CMU have a phenomenal turtling up position here, and Dolphinman, who attempted to step in, will be down, but Word won't let it matter, though. Flossie falling for a nice kill from the IQ, and it's going to be setting themselves up quite swiftly, and Warlord finding a nice shot to actually save Little Beatus out in that engagement. The SMG-11 to the back of the body of Dolphinman will secure it, and yet another kill from Lakeland. They're coming out insanely strong in the attack. I take back what I said about them failing to find an answer in the attack. CMU are failing to find an answer to Lakeland. It's a 4v2. There's a minute of time still left available for them, and really and truly, all you have is Toxic Babes and an MP5 to hold off against the opposition. It's not where you want to be. CMU are struggling to stay in this one, and they're coming in from every angle. The players rotated around to go inside of that outside northern side wall, stepping inside of construction. You also have Warlord, who's trapped inside of red stairs, but Tumac will stop the bleeding just slightly, and Sasha will be killed, but you only have 38 seconds if you're Lakeland to step inside and get this diffuser down.
Waylord almost meeting his maker. He'll still be alive, though, for the last 30 seconds in this 2-on-3. It's not all over for Central Methodist. Lakeland, they have to get this defuse off in this 1v3, which will make things a little bit easier, but they still have to worry about Waylord, and they're not entirely aware of his position. Wide swing with the Mossberg comes out. They're completely clueless! A 3K for Waylord. He just has to find one more, and he's stuck in the middle of sight. He's got to go for that plant. It's down to 5 seconds. Toxic Babe coming out in case of the push, and it's not gonna happen. You can go for the peak, but it doesn't matter. What a clutch by the Smoke player, and Central Methodist take another round win, bringing us to match point.
Absolutely dominating performance from the Mossberg-wielding man himself. Devastation in every angle. Nothing that they can do about it. CMU on their last leg, quite literally, and they still managed to surmount the comeback. I know we didn't talk too much about him previously in that round and didn't have too much positive to say coming into Warlord before this map, but absolutely everything dropping for him. The triple kill to finish and not even needing the last to guarantee the success. Oh my goodness, CMU letting themselves be known absolutely phenomenal. We're going to have to see if Lakeland can do once again what they just did, except actually finish this one off. They desperately need to find an answer. They had it, and they lost it, and they can't do that again because it's match point CMU.
They have to win 5 rounds in a row, Scott. And even then, they only bring it to overtime. After that, they still have a chance to mess it all up and lose another 2 rounds against CMU. And then they don't have anything. That's the best of 3 over, as Central Methodist have already taken map number 1 on Coastline with flying colors, a flawless 7-0 victory. It's going to come down to these last couple of rounds and how well they can execute into the bomb site and find those big openings against the defensive hold. Right now, we're heading to Church and Arsenal. A really good lineup by Lakeland, but again, it comes down to not just the planning of how you want to attack, but the execution of that attacking style, which will really come down to see if Lakeland can actually take their second round win in the entire best of 3.
Difficult situation. You do have to buy time if you are CMU. If you take into account, Philo, what was the big thing we definitely noticed? I don't mean to ask you a question while you're drinking water. Go ahead and swallow that.
Don't worry about it.
What is the big thing we've noticed from the side of Lakeland on their one attacking round we've seen? They came in swiftly, right? The aggressive nature of them coming in, almost as aggressive as we saw Tumac do previously for CMU, and now CMU's opting to try to find an answer. They're bringing out Warelord with the Alda. They're also coming in. They're bringing out the Surya Gate wielding Aruni of Tumac. They're trying to slow down Lakeland, and while they miraculously were able to win the round previously, they won't be able to get a miracle after miracle, and they're hoping to slow the pace just enough to help them get this bag.
Right. First minute, off the board. Not so bad. I think there might be still one roamer up above lurking on the side of Central Methodist, and if he finds a frag or just stalls for a little while longer, this could be all over for Lakeland as we're coming down to that first half of the round, and it will be over very soon. Flossie will get lit up by most likely that cluster charge. I can't quite tell due to audio, but it doesn't matter. A fantastic shot by Flossie, proving that he still has a little bit of gas left in the tank. He'll pick up the opening frag onto the Ying player. That's a huge pick as well, might I add. It's down to a minute 20, Scott, and there's still no death on the side of Central Methodist, and Flossie with a double kill, almost a 3K, but it's going to be the player up above of I'm Toxicity on the Vigil, and this might just be how Lakeland meets their demise in this 2. Make it 1v5 as from above again. I'm Toxicity rains down a hail of bullets. It's just up to word now in a 1v5. 50 seconds on the clock.
We'll find one. A consolation kill so far. Flossie will fall, not allowed to pick up another, but still the 1v4 in play. Toxicity still holding strong inside of Logi, has a sightline down into Kitchen, and Word doesn't have the kit nor the arsenal to fully guarantee themselves any victory. Finding another miraculous kill onto Toxicity, now sitting at 1 or 2 HP. A slight sneeze in their direction and they'll fall, and they don't have a way to clear the Surya Gate. They'll need to throw out a drone if they have it in pocket. If they don't, well, Bob's your uncle. This round cannot be won. Word is completely trapped on the opposite side, and Tumac was not anticipating it to be this unilaterally effective, and it's not looking hot for Lakeland once again. CMU on a banger of a matchup. Looks like they're going to take this one 7-1. Word just looking for a last kill. Still can't step in through hatch either. And Word, I'm sorry, you're going to have to take the dip. There's nothing you can do. Just take the L, and there it is. CMU find it in round 8, finally tosses it through. They did actually have it available. What? And we are unfortunately going to see Lakeland lose that one as well, 7-1, and that's going to be a 14-1 total score matchup in these first 2 maps.
Beautiful plays by Central Methodist. They only gave away 1 round that entire best of 3 game, and my God, the plays coming out from Tumac and Flossie and Warelord, those top 3 players really outperformed the entire game. You got to give credit to at least those 3 players, but also the other 2 as well that I did not mention. I'm Toxicity, and also the other lone player as well. The name is coming right off the tip of my tongue. I believe that was Little Beatus, who still found a lot of entry frags as well, and was able to keep his cool in a lot of different situations. Sorry, getting caught up in my words. I'm still over ecstatic as to how quickly that game ended out. I'm bewildered, to be honest, Scott, but that's going to be it for us. I don't think we have any other words to end off here. It was such a quick but enjoyable evening to commentate with you, and I believe we'll head off right into the third map match. Sorry, not map. We're not going to a third map, guys. Don't worry. We'll have a huge break, but then going into 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be another match in play today. That's going to be from, I believe, Wielku and another person commentating as well, but I can't quite remember who. But stick around and you will be able to find out for yourself. But that's been Fellow and also Infernosis, and we hope you all have a great rest of your evening.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.